your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Oh, it is a rough one out there on this Monday. Cold rain continuing to fall, especially south of I-74, I-72. You can see those showers, and even some areas with a little bit of blue is showing up, which would indicate maybe a snowflake trying to mix in there from time to time. We widen the view out. You can see all the moisture closer to I-70, and we're seeing a lot of that here. But those locations that pick up on this precipitation, most likely is that cold rain, but again, a snowflake can't be ruled out because look at the temperature, especially in Springfield. You're now down to 35. It's 37 in Champaign, and it is just a dreary, overcast night with temperatures hovering into the 30s. Okay, we'll come back, talk about if there's any kind of a warm-up that we can look forward to this week in the 7-day forecast. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
The owner calls it the most non-essential business in the area, but this store is one that so many people are going to miss. Plus, they're fighting a battle at the Danville VA. Just how many COVID cases are over there?
And he fainted during arraignment last week. What a judge said today to that man accused of hitting and killing a bicyclist.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
The pandemic has kind of hit us hard.
And that's one of the reasons the doors are closing. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Businesses across central Illinois have been hurting during the pandemic. But while some are calling it quits, others are taking the chance to try something new. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is with us now. So, Courtney, it really feels like every day we hear about somebody shutting something down.
Jennifer, it really does, and some were really on the brink before March and the pandemic started happening, but it was the final straw. Others are using this as a time to start over.
When I started my business, I wasn't much bigger than a piece of plywood.
After 49 years, a storefront that holds a special place in many hearts will soon be just a memory.
The support has been wonderful, and I can't say enough good things about it, but it's time.
Owner Andy Dallas says COVID-19 restrictions played a big role in his decision.
The thing about our business is that it is the most non-essential business probably in Champaign-Urbana because we sell rubber chickens and phony dog poop.
Hank's Table is another recent closure. Owners there said the events of the past year were part of it. Still, while some are calling it quits, others, like Champaign's Scotty's Brewhouse, are becoming something new.
We're rebranding the restaurant into a tap house. It's going to be called Aspen Tap House, kind of patterned around a campfire hospitality theme.
But they also aren't untouched by COVID-19. Chamber of Commerce leaders say they're continually working on creating resources for these owners.
There is money available through the state of Illinois, and it's called the Big Grant Business Interruption.
On top of that, the cities of Champaign and Urbana are also working on their own programs.
If you are a business that had put out that, you have expenses that you incurred because of COVID-19 that you would not have normally incurred, they're going to have a reimbursement program for some of those expenses.
Andy Dallas says he also chose to close Dallas & Company because his property value is going up. He says that area of Champaign is really growing. The other reason is because of his age. He told me it just feels like a good time to retire. Jennifer.
All right. Thank you, Courtney. Now, we talked about those changes, but they aren't happening just yet. Dallas & Company will officially close after Halloween. Aspen Tap House will reopen with their new branding next week. They have some events this week to kick it off. Goodwill in Danville has closed its doors temporarily after an employee tested positive for COVID-19. The store was scrubbed down. All employees were asked to stay home. Every worker goes through 2 health screenings a day. They will reopen tomorrow.
The VA facility in Danville is reporting more than 200 COVID-19 cases among veterans and staff. A total of 169 vets and 51 staff have tested positive. Among those, 42 cases are active, which includes 33 vets and 9 employees. 3 people have died. The VA says the rate of hospitalizations has decreased from 38 to 15% since March. It's continuing to screen vets and staff and isolate anyone at risk of infection. Now, Macon County is dealing with a surge in cases. 267 people tested positive since Friday, 123 on Saturday alone. That is a single-day high for the county since the pandemic began. The majority of these cases are impacting people in their 20s. Health officials are urging people to get tested, even if you think it might be seasonal allergies. You can go to the Decatur Civic Center parking lot through November 1st from 8 to 4. It's free. You don't need an appointment or insurance. Now, the state's positivity rate over the past week has jumped to 6.3%. There are over 4,700 new cases, as you can see, in the state in the last 24 hours. That's nearly 379,000 cases diagnosed since the pandemic began. State's positivity rate is up to 6.3%. And there have been 17 deaths in the past 24 hours, none in central Illinois. That is a bit of good news. There have been over 9,500 COVID-related deaths in Illinois.
Mattoon police arrested a woman they say shot a man in the head with a crossbow. April Dixon was arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. They say she shot a man in the forehead with a crossbow during a domestic dispute. The man was taken to the hospital and later released. Effingham police made 3 arrests for battering a pregnant woman. It happened Saturday night near the corner of Clinton and South Linden. Police say these 3, 25-year-old Jesse Tucker, 29-year-old Christy Roderick, and 18-year-old Trinidad Baker, were charged with aggravated battery to a pregnant person, mob action, and criminal damage to property. The last charge was for damage to a vehicle.
Here's a follow-up now. The driver arrested for hitting a bicyclist in Mahomet was in court again today. Robert O'Malley is charged with leaving the scene of a crash that resulted in death. Investigators say O'Malley hit Dr. Bill Shue while Shue was riding his bike. Shue later died from his injuries. O'Malley was in court Friday and actually passed out before the arraignment was over. Now, today's hearing dealt with bond. O'Malley's attorney wanted it reduced, but it's $500,000. Champaign police are investigating 2 shootings that left 3 people hurt. One happened just before noon near Louisiana and Bloomington. Police say an 18-year-old girl and 20-year-old man were approached by a car when someone inside that car shot at them. They were both taken to the hospital. The other shooting was just before 1 this morning. A 17-year-old boy was taken to the hospital after he was shot in the arm. That shooting happened near the corner of West William Street and Holiday Drive. No arrests have been made. Police are asking anyone in that area with exterior security video to give them a call. We have information about that on our website, WCIA.com.
Tony Brown was declared the winner in the sheriff's race in Macon County by just 1 vote. 2 years later, it's still undecided. We've got the latest on the trial to settle it.
Also tonight,
some problems arise if somebody doesn't know a rule.
as we get closer to Election Day, more signs are popping up. The question is, are they all legal?
And we would like to have our weather be illegal when it's this kind of yucky out there. Just look at that. Oh, man, it's Springfield right now, overcast. Actually, maybe even a few snowflakes. I was looking close there. You'll see something fly by on our screen every once in a while there, as you can see. And as we go throughout the course of tonight, we will continue to see these cold temperatures and the rain showers moving across the area. We'll have more about that when we come back.
The Bright Spot on WCIA is sponsored by Flooring Surfaces.
I make sacrifices to keep a budget. Why can't Springfield politicians do the same thing? They keep raising income taxes and still have an $8 billion budget deficit. That's ridiculous. Vote no on the politicians' tax hike amendment.
If you have an electrical, plumbing, or heating and cooling problem, there's only one home service company you need. When you want 100% satisfaction and the finest service, make things easy. Call Edelman. Edelman Inc. is a proud sponsor of the Viewers Club.
When you shoot the zesty burger sauce rapids on this new double cheeseburger papadilla, oh, you're gonna want to capsize in that Chunderdome of meat, cheese, and pickles. The new double cheeseburger papadilla and the return of double cheeseburger pizza. Papa John's.
Don't look good.
Yeah, it looks like it's both. Just what I don't need.
This is what you do need.
Complete the application within minutes, and if approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to cashnetusa.com.
Just in time for one of college football's greatest rivalries. It's time for you to tackle DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook's latest can't-miss offer. Because when you make your first bet on Saturday's game, you can turn $1 into $100 if your team wins. All you have to do is download the DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook app, place your first bet on either Penn State or Ohio State, and make it rain.
When a politician calls something fair, watch out. They say it's only a tax on the rich, but that's a bunch of crap. When that's not enough, they're coming after me next. Please vote no on the politician's tax hike amendment.
When you need to know the weather will be in the coming week, tune in to WCIA3's 7-day forecast. You can count on our team of meteorologists, Kevin Whitey, Jack Durfin, and Amelia Henderson, for the most accurate 7-day forecast. Sponsored by Edelman. This portion of WCIA3 News is brought to you by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Whitey.
Well, kind of a rough Monday, that's for sure, with conditions like this, rain showers across the area, a large area of rain that we've had, and a cold rain at that. That's a storm tracker Doppler, and you can see the showers here, especially closer to Effingham, some heavier activity where you've got some of those darker greens, even the yellows showing up. We zoom in, and you can see basically south of I-74 and I-72 is where we're seeing most of that moisture. There's a little bit of that blue near Springfield, which again would be indicative of maybe a snowflake mixing in there, but mainly this is just a really, really cold rain, and that's going to continue. You can see the moisture here continuing to really set up along I-70, where I think the best chance for precipitation is going to be over the next several hours. That's what our future track here is showing as well, with these showers from Paris down to Mattoon and Effingham, and even into early tomorrow morning, we may still have some of that moisture around. Current temperature is only 37 degrees. And then we have to talk about the wind factored in. So it actually feels like 27 in Bloomington right now. Feels like 29 in Springfield and 28 degrees in Jacksonville. That is some rough stuff for sure. Here's a look at the next several hours. Don't expect temperatures to move a whole lot. We're going to hang in the mid-30s for an overnight low. And again, it doesn't have to be at 32 degrees or below for a snowflake to mix in. You can still have 35, 36 degrees and get a few snowflakes, and that may occur. So let's look ahead to tomorrow in Ellsworth, 45. That's your high tomorrow. The same in Roberts. This is about 15 degrees below average for this time of the year. So yes, this is odd. This is strange. Not near record territory, but definitely chilly here for it still being the end of October. 47 in Illiopolis, and we don't get a whole lot better. There are a few days in there. Wednesday's a nice day at 57, and then we have to get to next week before we see the 60s again. So it's going to be quite chilly this week, with our next good rain chance showing up Thursday, and we could see some decent rainfall amounts, especially here with tonight's rain closer to I-70, an inch and a half over the next week or so. Here's your forecast for tonight, 34 degrees, mostly cloudy, rain coming to an end, 46 degrees for tomorrow. Again, still dealing with maybe a few of those showers. Don't forget, you can always download the WCA3 weather app. It is a free download for you to get that, and you shouldn't have any issue. It will go ahead and load up the radar for you. It'll have everything you want to know about the forecast, including the 7-day forecast, which we now display for you here, which is going to show these temperatures remaining very chilly all week long. We don't see any major improvements here. And then, of course, Saturday is Halloween, and it does look dry. And don't forget, then Saturday night into Sunday morning, clocks going back, daylight saving time there, and we get that extra hour. Again, one of my favorite days there with that. But it's going to be cold. It's cold all week. We don't even get out of the 50s.
I know with your extra hour, I'm thinking there's going to be a to-do list. You're going to get some chores done.
Yes.
The snooze, right?
The chores include watching football on Sunday and more football.
And sleeping.
And sleeping.
All right, thanks.
It was not the way the Illini wanted to open the football season. Why this week's matchup with Purdue now becomes the biggest game of the season.
Plus,
in my opinion, they're spending way too much time trying to figure out who is requesting the information.
Urbana is trying to control how many FOIA requests it gets. That guy says how they're doing it is illegal.
Tune in to WCIA3's Forecast First for the first weather of your day. You can count on your storm team, Kevin Lighty, Jack Durfin, and Amelia Henderson. Forecast First from WCIA3, your local weather leader. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Feel the difference with Matex Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Take a $25 discount for yourself or pay that $25 forward to cover repairs for a veteran in need. Together, we can feel the difference and make a difference. Visit MatexService.com to schedule today.
There's something rotten in Betsy Londrigan's campaign. Could be the fuel that powers it, Madigan-tainted lobbyist cash. Or the cash Londrigan's PAC raised with Madigan's political organization. Or the stink of corruption left by a probe into Londrigan's donor, a former Madigan henchman whose home was reportedly raided by the FBI. Betsy Londrigan's campaign is rotten to the core, a cog in the wheel of Madigan's machine. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet is the modern general store, which means we have everything you need to make this holiday season special. And when it comes to things you want this year, let others know by making your very own Christmas wish list. It's easy. Just download the Blaine's Farm and Fleet app, scan products in-store or add them online, and share your wish list with family and friends. Plus, one lucky winner will win their wish list up to $500. Make this Christmas special with the Blaine's Farm and Fleet app. Download it today.
When the pandemic hit, experts were predicting another Great Depression. But Congress stepped up and passed a bipartisan bill to rescue our economy. The Paycheck Protection Program has saved over 50 million American jobs, 2 million in Illinois, at small businesses like this. But it shouldn't take a national crisis for Democrats and Republicans to work together. I'm Rodney Davis. I approve this message because I'm fighting every day to bring both parties together and solve problems for Illinois families.
Ready to sell your home in 2020? With a guaranteed offer from Ryan Dallas Real Estate, skip the process of listing your home and go straight to sold, closing in as little as 3 weeks. Stay hassle-free with Ryan Dallas Real Estate's guaranteed offer. It's selling made simple.
Congratulations to Our Town Danville Fall Edition. WCIA3 would like to thank Prairie Commons Business Collective and Illinois Pork Producers. Congratulations to Our Town Danville Fall Edition. Live from your local news leader, Jennifer Roscoe, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast, with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA3 News at 6.
We have another update on the recount over the Macon County Sheriff's race.
The trial date was originally pushed back to this week. Now it's not going to happen this month. Tony Brown was declared the winner in the race over Jim Root in 2018 by 1 vote. Root contested those results. The circuit court says they narrowed down some of the contested ballots, but not all of them. They are now looking at court dates in December. A man in Central Illinois is concerned about how one city is handling information requests. John Kraft says the city of Urbana is asking for photo IDs when they shouldn't. He was listening to one of their meetings when he got curious. Kraft heard them talking about Freedom of Information Act requests and their concerns with people who file them too often. To handle that, they talked about asking for a photo ID, but Kraft feels that's not fair.
I still don't believe any government has a right to demand a photo ID, government-issued photo ID, just to receive public records. I also noticed they're charging people postage.
We reached out to the city's attorney to figure out why they're doing this. We haven't heard back.
With Election Day just 8 days away, many are putting up political signs around the Champaign area, but the city does have some rules to keep in mind. Signs cannot be placed in a public right-of-way. They are limited to the size of a real estate sign in residential areas, but there are no limits to signs placed on a lot. The Champaign County Young Democrats say it is important to remind people about the rules.
I think some problems arise if somebody doesn't know a rule and puts a sign in the wrong place and then they drive by the next morning and it's gone. You start to wonder what happened. Is it nefarious? Is it just the city following codes and ordinances?
And that's why if a sign violates the rules, they can be removed. So again, 8 days until Election Day. You see a countdown clock there, so 7 days, 11 hours, 41 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. until the polls open, although early voting in Illinois, so people have been voting for weeks.
I think Marley's countdown is to another Illini football game.
Another game that was a little bit better than the last one. I don't think a 45-7 loss was the way that they wanted to start the season, but they got Purdue up next. We'll hear from the Illini on what they're doing to bounce back and this new standard of play that they want to set. That's coming up next.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Edelman Electric Plumbing and HVAC. Don't spend your time wandering around the web. For the most concise local news and accurate weather coverage, turn to WCIA.com.
I'm Ron Deeples, and October is a great month to save on a new Chevrolet. Right now, you can save $7,000 off on a new 2020 Chevy Blazer or a 2020 Chevy Equinox. If your vehicle doesn't have a depot sticker, you probably paid too much.
Prices are slashed for Frankendeal days at Shields and Rantoul. Get up to 12 grand off MSRP on select Ram and Ford trucks. Interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months. Dare to choose an affordable Ford Fusion, 0% for 66 months and a 3 grand rebate. Plus, a warranty forever mean peace of mind. It's what Shields has and the others don't. Scary great Frankendeals this month at Shields and Rantoul.
I've been a teacher for 34 years, and I looked at the politicians' tax hike amendment. The math just doesn't add up. Springfield politicians already raised income taxes twice in the last decade, but they still have an $8 billion budget deficit. It just doesn't make sense to give Springfield politicians new power to raise our taxes until they get their spending under control. Please vote no on the politicians' tax hike amendment.
With people worried about crime, we need Dan Wright as state's attorney. Dan Wright's a proven, tough prosecutor committed to protecting families. That's why Wright's working with police and prosecutors, keeping neighborhoods safe. As state's attorney, Wright's put violent criminals behind bars. Wright's fighting sexual and physical abuse in schools and human trafficking. And Wright helps victims find the justice they deserve. Dan Wright for state's attorney. What we need in tough times.
I'm Ron Deeples, and October is a great month to save on a new Chevrolet. Right now, you can save $7,000 off on a new 2020 Chevy Blazer or a 2020 Chevy Equinox. If your vehicle doesn't have a depot sticker, you probably paid too much.
From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA 3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
The only thing Illinois is worried about this week is keeping the Cannon Trophy in Champaign and bouncing back from their 45-7 loss against Wisconsin. Head coach Lovie Smith said that they were aware that Badgers quarterback Graham Mertz reportedly tested positive for COVID-19, but Smith said that none of the Illini tested positive today. They were back on the field this morning, getting ready to host Purdue on Saturday.
We're not as far along as I hoped we would be, but we still have time to get there. When you have an effort like that, you can't wait to play as soon as possible. We watched the video with our team, and now it's moving on to Purdue.
Last year, the Illini rushed for a season-high 242 yards against the Boilermakers, but their run game was something they failed to execute on Friday. This season, they're returning 8 starters to the offense, and the Illini are led by a veteran O-line, so they're hoping to get back to that standard of play this week.
When you play in the Big Ten Conference, you have to put certain things past you once you learn from them, but not until you learn from them. Really what we have to do is just match the intensity, play hard, and just get back to what, we want to be known for, which is, that toughness, grit, and establishing the run game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a disappointing game. There's a lot we didn't do well, but there's a lot to build on, a lot to get better at.
Purdue will be a big test for the Illini this weekend. They upset Iowa 24-20. And college basketball season starts in a month, and it seems like there's no direction on where the Illini schedule is heading. The ESPN Wide World of Sports in Orlando won't host the Jimmy V Classic anymore. They also canceled 8 events, and although it was never confirmed by Illinois, they were expected to play Baylor at that event. It's possible it could still be played at a different location. And while the pandemic has made it challenging, head coach Brad Underwood still sees value in playing these multi-team events.
You know, I was excited as heck about the event we were in Florida. It was a great field. It's neutral site. It's TV. It's got a different atmosphere to it. I think we'll continue to see a variety of different types of MTEs, and where you feel comfortable with, you'll go.
The NCAA granted a blanket waiver on Friday, saying that teams can play in 2 MTEs if they don't exceed the maximum of 27 games. So a lot going on. The clock is ticking. We're a month away from college basketball, and Illini also out of the Emerald Coast Classic. So things are still kind of up in the air at this point.
We just want to see basketball.
Basketball and
someplace.
Football, maybe a little bit better at this
We
time.
made it to football. I mean, we got the kickoff in. That's big.
All right, thanks. Absolutely.
So why did a farmer stop his combine? It's not a joke. What he saw is our bright spot of the day.
Plus this.
Cases, positivity, hospitalizations are all rising across the state of Illinois.
And they're all bad. Which 2 regions are now back to level 3?
Sports on WCIA3 is brought to you by PNP Heating and Cooling.
The average Joe had to wait weeks for COVID relief funds to keep their business afloat. But when your bro is a U.S. congressman, you don't wait at all. Rodney Davis's brother received over $1 million and didn't wait more than 2 days. Davis takes care of his special interest donors, too. So by now, we should know. Rodney Davis is always going to put his bros before average Joes. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Menards carries a great selection of lighting products in stock. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. We carry a wide array of styles and finishes of outdoor lighting. Enhance your home with the look you want while adding security for peace of mind. This Shane Outdoor Wall Light is a great way to add elegant lighting to the outside of your home. Pick it up today for only $44.49 after 11% rebate right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight.
If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Make no mistake about it, Rodney Davis has turned his back on Illinois. Davis has taken $50,000 from ComEd's parent company and its executives and personally lobbied to give them a corporate bailout while they raised rates. As our small businesses struggled to stay open during the pandemic, Davis's family's business got $1 million in federal help just 2 days after money was made available. Nope, Rodney Davis isn't working for us. He's only working for himself. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Better access to ambulances and emergency care.
More broadband for small towns.
And rural infrastructure for workers like me. Dick Durbin delivers.
In tough times, it's good to know we have a senator working for all of Illinois. Dick Durbin. He came through for our hospitals and frontline workers, stood up for our farmers and firefighters, and he's never forgotten where he comes from. Dick Durbin, a senator for times like these.
I'm Dick Durbin, and I approve this message.
American Eagle Auto Glass is Danville's locally owned auto glass repair service. They specialize in repairing, installing, and replacing auto glass. Let American Eagle Auto Glass make the process easy for you by handling insurance claims directly. Cash is welcomed. Call today.
Everyone that lives here is a part of the same community.
Join WCIA3 for our 4-part series, Together We Rise, an in-depth look at race relations across central Illinois. This week during the news at 10 on WCIA3. WCIA3 News is sponsored by Midas Tire and Auto in Urbana.
Well, I'm sure many of your yards are just full of the leaves out there. So when is a good time to take care of it this week? Well, we'll say okay for tomorrow, but the best day is probably Wednesday with no chance of rain and light winds. Thursday is definitely a poor day. We've got both the chance for rain and 25-mile-per-hour winds coming up on Thursday. So Yes, that chore list we were talking about that I'm going to be all over. That would be Wednesday, which would be the best chance to do any of that.
Thursday looks miserable.
Yeah, windy, cold, and rainy. So it's not a great 7-day.
Not a great combination. Yeah. All right, but this is a great picture. All right, we're going to start with, in our bright spot, we've got one from the Maddox Farm in Allerton. They say they never stopped their combine, but they had to stop because of this. Can you see?
Is that bald eagle?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. There was a reason to do it. There was a bald eagle sitting in their just harvested field. Look at it.
That is majestic.
That is a shot. Reason definitely to stop, take a look, and take some pictures. So when you see stuff like that, send it our way. We want to see what you are seeing there because it'll make all of us feel a little bit better, right? So you can do it on Facebook. You can also send us an email.
Another city leader has coronavirus, which mayor is in isolation with COVID-19. That story and more after the break.